Hey there, Stephanie Joy with all things Social Security and the law practice of Joy Disability. Here's a short little segment from our recent live stream Q&A that we have every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the YouTube channel, All Things Social Security. Enjoy, and if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments and I will be sure to get to them. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.
Hi guys, sorry for that funny little delay, and I think I didn't click live when I thought I did. So anyway, how are you all? I see Halfline here. Can you guys tell me if you can hear me? Hear me? Hear me? You should be able to hear me. Put it in the comments, guys. Put them in the comments. Do I need to type to you? What is going on, guys? Everything seems all right. It looks okay. You can't hear anything? Oh, Old Grizz can hear. Halfline, check your settings. Thank you, Old Grizz, because I came in here completely not even pressing all the buttons I was supposed to. It's kind of running on the seat of my pants. So let's see where we can get going here. Half pint can now. Okay, awesome. All right, so I see. All right, so today is March 25th. Lordy, 2026. I see George Graham is or was in the house. Hi, George. Want to go to Florida. Kevin Johnson from Morristown, Tennessee. Not the same town as Morristown, New Jersey, where I was born. Justin Zane's in the house from the Caribbean. Old Grizz from Montana. Half Pint from Washington. God, I love it. You guys are all over the place. Michelle's in the house. Hi, Michelle. Okay. Oh, yeah, you see Tasha? I just gave her some tuna fish. All right. We'll just see if there's a few more popping in. And then put up your questions, guys. Hold them back. I had something funny to show you. It's not really funny. It's kind of disgraceful. I don't know if you can see how big this is. This is like an, one of those oversized big whiteys. Side was this lovely return envelope. Whoops. And you can note that there is no postage required. So that's already been paid for. Although I think when they have those, they don't actually have to pay until the person uses it. So that's good. However, I got to tell you what came in here. Normally what will come in here will be our hard copy of something like a function report or work history report, or the real smarties will put them both in here. So they all get sent under one cost, one stuffing, one stamp, which would obviously be maybe a little bit more than if they only sent one report in there because it's heavier. But still, incrementally, it's much less than sending it twice. There was one envelope in here. One letter, one page letter. And it was a normal letter. It was a, hey, here's the barcode if you want to send it in on so-and-so client, which is ironic because we don't need the barcode page because we are in the electronic file and we upload it. So the whole thing is a waste when it's that particular letter. But nonetheless, why would you use this? And so when you look at the cost of just the mailing, guys, $1. Where am I? Ooh, can you see that? I don't know if you can see it. It's $1.90. $1.90 just for the USPS costs, not the labor cost that went into stuffing it. Whoever made the brilliant decision to put it in there, their wages is extra. I mean, the waste. I mean, I'm all about getting over fraud, but I'm also all about getting over the waste. It's disgusting. I think I've told you before that years ago, this is probably when New Jersey was one of my heavier states. Now it's all kind of balanced because I'm more national, but I would get 2 letters whenever there was something sent out from the GDS, like hey, I'm the adjudicator, or hey, here's your barcode, or hey, whatever it is. 2 copies in 2 separate envelopes sent to me on every case. And I sent a letter to the GDS saying, hey, did you know that you're really wasting a lot of taxpayer money doing this? I know you're not doing it on purpose. And of course, I never heard back, and they kept doing it. And I decided I don't have time to be doing their reminder system for them. So I just sent them the 1 letter, and that was the end of that. But now that was probably 15 years ago, maybe a little less, but literally a long time ago. And this silliness continues. It's unbelievable. All right. And this wasn't New Jersey, by the way. So this is not necessarily a state-specific thing. I could pick on Jersey for so many things. That's just not one of them. I mean, it is, but no different than anybody else. Don't poop on me, please. She looks like she's getting sleepy. All right. We're going to go down the pike here. I don't see questions, though, guys. So you're going to have to give me something. I can tell you about my fabulous win on my remote DLI case. That was one of those, percenters that we talk about that someone needs to help in case it would work. So that was really good. Oh, and I should say, we had that hearing on March 10th, and it is now. We got the award 2 days ago, maybe. No, I think it was dated the 20th. So that was awarded and decision written up. I believe that was extremely short too, the decision. Maybe 3 pages. I've never seen that. Sometimes they're 25 pages. All in 10 days. That was Pretty cool. All right, so Justin does have a pseudo question, right, Justin? Thank you, Stephanie, for all your great advice and help for us as claimants. I appreciate that, Justin. How can we, as the alleged impaired, it is legally it's alleged, but the rest, we all know, right? The reality, assist our legal teams best. Well, you can share what I'm always nagging about. For us, it's filling out any forms you get from us or the SSA, and then they come back to us to the best you can. Make sure we have a blank copy of that form. If it's a form, we always have them, but sometimes they're like really weird forms that are kind of proprietary to a particular office. And then for us, we're like, send us a blank, fill out yours, send it here. That's like the draft, the info. Because there's things that are just so particular that we wouldn't want to be, we wouldn't really be able to draw from the material already given us to help. And that would be like a pain questionnaire. That pain is so personal and specific and pinpointed at times, but I think that's something that you really have to do the best you can. Send it here. There's almost no way. I mean, most people, you can't really screw that one up too much unless you say no pain. So if you do your best to answer them, you're going to do fine. And I almost feel like those are busy forms the SSA sends out, but you still have to send them in, or else there's like you almost get the sense that there'll be a denial and say, and you never filled out all the forms we sent you. So whether you spend 30 minutes or 3 hours, I just think it's always good to get it back to them one way or the other. And then the other thing for us is definitely when you're done with a medical visit, go into the portal. That's all yours, free, paid for by us, and put down the ABCD information about that visit. It can't take more than, 2 minutes to do. And I always suggest doing it the day someone is done with their visit so that it's not forgotten. And one could say, well, you're just going to be ordering the records anyway. Yes, that's true. But that could be, months in between, because you're not going to order the records every week. And we notify the adjudicator when we know the person's going, but the adjudicator is not going to want it to be like micromanaged. Like, I don't want, necessarily and the adjudicator won't want to do it either, going in and sending a request to the provider every day. The provider is going to get ticked off as well. So, but to tell them, and we'll do this, we can do this as much as weekly, or it could be any particular day. And I say weekly if the person's really robust and everything's kind of critical. Otherwise, it'll probably be a little bit longer. But if the person just went in for surgery, we'll send a reminder to the adjudicator that shoulder surgery, for instance, just occurred, just to keep them updated. So if they're about to make a decision, particularly an unfavorable one, they're going to hold off until they get that back. Do they always hold off? Nope. Sometimes, they just want to get it off their plate and move it on, and they never looked at it. But still, to me, it's our job to get that in there, and it's your job to get it into the portal timely, because you're the only one with that information. I know there could be some confusion when you have an appeal. You get denied. In our situation, we get all the data for the appeal from the client. Like, all right, so now you're going to go back and rehash who you saw since you appealed or you were last denied, or I should say when you applied or you last appealed a denial. And some people say, well, I was notifying you all along. That doesn't matter. A lot of what we need, it's going to be redundant, but that's because there's cross-checkings that got to take place. And we also have to be able to confirm, if asked by the powers that be, well, did you get the updates, or did you just kind of like go by what you think they might have? Because all along, people do miss dates, and they do miss providers all the time. So when we say, here's our data packets, our stuff is always proprietary to us, and then we use it for the real McCoy to help them put that together. But you've given it to us in this other document, along with some other questions usually that we know would be helpful for a better, more accurate response. And, we sometimes get someone who will say, well, I gave you all that information. Can't you do it? I'm like, no, I can't fill out your client data form. You do that. You could take your time. You could do a page a day, but just do it, because we need this to back up that, A, there's nothing missing in all the stuff you sent us through other sources. And there almost always is. There's almost always something forgotten. And it's a great way also, between all the different ways things come in, to, if you have to go to hearing and beforehand, to make sure that what's in the records that were ordered and received includes everything you said you had. It usually includes more because you forgot to tell us stuff. That's fine. That's another reason why we keep asking. But if we don't know to ask because you don't tell us, you just missed out on a nice chunk of evidence that would otherwise be in your case, potentially. So that's what you got to do. You just have to be, a good purveyor of your own information. And we can't read minds. and we won't guess. If we have to do an appeal without the proper information, because the person's just like, you said you would do the appeal. I'm like, we are doing the appeal, but we can't read your mind. You got to do this. We could send in a very weak appeal, and your appeal rights will be protected by us. However, the strength of your appeal will be no better than the strength of the one you just got denied on. So it's really important to, put your best foot forward and not think that the lawyer that you have and their staff is your personal secretary, because that's not the case either. Now, everyone's doing their best to help everybody, but they don't do that. I always say we don't do the dry cleaning either, or the taxi driving, and we don't pay the medical bills. Like, there's a limit to what we do, and it's all about the legal, but you have to get us the information that we could do our legal wonders with. So thank you for that question, Justin. I gave you a mouthful, didn't I? We see Kate Wood is in the house from upstate New York. Thank you very much. Oh, I love upstate New York. It's beautiful. Remember spending time on Lake George back in the day. I hope it's as nice as it used to be. If you have any questions, Kate Wood, just feel free to put them in there. The sooner you get them in, the sooner the answer comes out, because I go in order. Deanna's in the house. Hi, Deanna. Nice to see you. And again, Half Pint. Haven't seen Half Pint in a while. Old Grizz. The government at work. Yeah, about the envelope business. And I went to, maybe a week or so ago, I went into the section where you can report fraud, waste, and abuse, supposedly. Now, I'm not going to, is it abuse? Yes, of the finances, but I'm not sure if that's the kind of, to me, it's more like waste. And under the buttons you can click, even though it's called report your fraud, waste, abuse here, there's 2 buttons, and it was fraud. Well, I wasn't reporting anybody for fraud. It's the system, it's whatever protocol they have, because a lot of those mailings are automated, and it wasn't abuse, and a button for waste was not there. So maybe that's because it's public facing and not just attorney rep facing. I have to look into that more, because I would be telling it every time it happened, because I really want them to know how egregious it is. Think of that, $1.90 just for the mailing for that one thing, that one piece of paper to come to me. And I have stacks like this all week. So, couldn't you put it, I understand they have to mail things. I think they could do better with that in terms of having a automated system. I've spoken about this before, where if you are a representative and you have electronic access, which is what you have, if you also have like automatic withholding where they send you your fee in the end, and then they already text us a one-time code every time we want to get into the ERE. Well, if you can text us that, why can't you just send a blurb with the last 4 digits of a social every time something's changed in that file? Then you wouldn't even have to mail me. I wouldn't have to be doing all this scanning and filing, and I could just pop into the electronic file, download it myself. Brilliant, right? But no one's listening. Sorry, but it's such a funny thing. All right.